cool to all right.
What's that? What'd you say?
It's cool to finally meet you. Yeah, I follow your stuff a little bit, along with some of the other moving people on YouTube. I actually kind of just started here about a year ago, investing in my friend's business. It was very, very tiny. It was like kind of a two-man crew when I came in. I'm more of a financial guy. However, I'm definitely learning the industry really quick. So I went in, it was a two-man crew. That was 10 months ago. We were only doing about $10,000 a month. And now we're doing about 40 to 50 with that.
How much money do you want to make right now, this month, in the next 30 days? Would you want to make an extra 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 more? Do you want to make that much money working for yourself in a business that will actually not only scale quickly, but profitably? Well, if you do, then I really encourage you to join the 7-Figure Moving Academy. Now, this academy is unlike any other informational group or program that you will ever join for entrepreneurship, because it's so interactive. It requires you and your participation only. And it really depends, your success only depends on your participation inside the group. And it's so affordable, right? Now, guys, don't get me wrong. This isn't a foolproof system. It requires you to get out there and do something. It's not a get-rich-quick system. It's not something I'm going to peddle to say, oh, you're going to get rich quickly. But I can show you proven techniques that will make you an extra 10, 20, 30, or more every single month. You could be making literally $30,000 to $50,000 a month if you apply the techniques that are inside the 7-Figure Moving Academy. And for less than a Starbucks coffee every single day, you can enjoy these benefits every single time. And when you join the 7-Figure Moving Academy's monthly membership program, you'll get access to our extensive library filled with documents, contracts, survey materials, terms and conditions. It's a complete business in a box. Everything that you would need to not only start, run, and build your business will be there, these documents. Not only that, you will be able to have access to some of the biggest moving companies in the United States and Canada. Right? We're talking multi-million-dollar business owners that are involved in this group, willing to help mentor you and give you the advice that you need for your moving business. So, if you want to be part of the biggest moving company business revolution, you need to join the 7-Figure Moving Academy. Go to 7figuremovingacademy.co for
high months on 60. And that's non-peak. So we just kind of figured out how to market properly with Google. And I think that's what did it. Our SEO is coming. We outsourced a lot of our marketing and our website to like Movers Dev and all of that stuff. So everything's very hands-off. OnQ's doing our sales. They've been working very, very well and making it very easy to scale. However, I don't know. I've never ran a business before. This is my first time. So in 10 months, I'd like to think we're doing pretty good. However, we're still not really making money, where we're just like, my degree's in accounting. So I just finally, I dropped out of school to do this. And I just finally kind of was able to teach myself how to do the books with what I learned in school and just kind of scratching the walls here. I hope you also don't feel like we need a rush. If this is only an hour time slot, I'm okay with going over. I want to make sure that everything I talk about is thoroughly discussed. Money's not really a thing for me.
We're good.
Okay.
So let me get a couple questions before we get going, so I know where you stand and what you're looking to get help with.
Yes.
How long you been with the company? What, 7 months?
10 months for me. The company's been around for probably 13 or 14 months.
Okay.
So I came in very, very early. So I'm pretty much, I'm an active partner at this point. Okay. I came in so early. I own 40%. My partner owns 60. He's the sales guy. I'm cool with that. I'm the numbers dude in the background. He's Steve Jobs. I'm Steve Wozniak. Yeah, Wozniak. I'm cool with that. He was still rich.
No problem. No problem with there. Okay, so you've been a little over a year, which is great. You went from 10,000 a month to 50.
Our highest month was 56,000, and that was September.
And so okay, good. So that's not. It is off season.
It's at the very tail end of peak. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so that's not horrible at all. Yeah. Are you able to maintain that 50,000 this last month?
So October we did 42,000.
Okay. All
so
right.
It's less. I mean, it's less in the peak season. I've looked at a lot of statistics from moving. In October, only like 7% of all moves nationally. November, it's 6%, and then December and January, it's 3%. So I'm expecting a huge, like half the revenue almost. I don't know how accurate that'll be, but
really depends on how you're promoting.
Okay.
Quite honest. You're going to definitely, as the winter season, it's definitely going to slow down. But yes. Let me ask you, where are you at in the country? What city are you in?
Okay, so the business, this is where it's going to get a little weird, right? I'm in Wisconsin, right? I'm here because I've kind of already settled my roots. I'm a real estate investor here. I have a fiance here. We're getting married. Every 2 weeks, I go over. The business is in Kentucky, okay. Erlanger.
Erlanger, okay.
Yes, yeah. Right next to Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. And that's where my partner is. And I live there for 2 weeks. I sleep in my car. I sleep, I couch hop, to just do whatever I can to make it work and save money. And then I come back here and, make sure the other 2 weeks go to my woman and the accounting.
Cincinnati area is a big city.
Yes.
So, yes. And it does snow there. It does get cold.
Yeah.
But the snow doesn't stick around that long. So, because it's right there at that climate zone where, yeah, it'll get cold, it'll snow, but there might even be a big blizzard come through, but it'll quickly warm up. So it's right in that between mark. So, so that means you should still see a fairly good flow of moving throughout that area.
It won't be like Chicago or Milwaukee where it just gets frigid as hell.
Right.
Okay.
So you're still going to see a thing. I think you'll probably go down about 20 grand, which is what you're.
That's what my gut was telling me. It's going to be around 20 grand. I, however, have such a lack of business experience. I didn't know how reliable that would be.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, so that area is pretty huge. Even the outskirts of the area still got a good, really condensed population center there.
Yeah, the 2 men in a truck right near me, just to dig information, I called them, and one of their salespeople was a little loose-lipped, and he just gave me a ton of information on the company. They're doing like $500,000 a month, so there's still a lot of room to grow.
Right.
That's how I look at that.
$500,000 a month with 2 men in a truck down in that area. I think he's full of crap.
You think so?
Oh, I know he is. There's no way he's doing $500,000 down there.
No, how much do you think is probably reasonable for them?
What's reasonable? A month?
Yeah.
In that area, with knowing the competition, doing $100,000 a month when you're at full capacity, depending on how many trucks and crews you got.
Mm-hmm. And that's just moving, not including junk and anything that we include later on.
Yeah, that's just moving.
Okay.
$500,000. I mean, for him to be doing $500,000, they've got to have like 20 crews out at any given time.
Yeah, he said there was about 10, anywhere from 10 to 14 trucks they had.
Do they? Well, okay. Well, maybe they are. Most 2 men in a truck franchises aren't that big.
Okay.
Most of them have 3 or 4 trucks. That's why at first I was like, I
know we drove by. They have quite a bit. It's a pretty big office. It is. I was like, whoa, holy. moly.
Well, I actually live in the city where Two Men in a Truck was founded. I actually know
cool.
Joe and Brig personally.
You're kidding. That is so cool.
Yeah, so
they're kind of like when we're looking to like grow our thing, because we want to be nationwide too eventually. That's like kind of like we're looking at them and like we want to be like that eventually.
Well, I wouldn't model my business after them.
No.
Well, they're doing okay, but if you look at if you actually look at the franchises that are out there, most of them have very, very poor reputations.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know
most
that.
Most of them are 3-star companies. Pardon me.
No, you're fine.
I'm going to put you on mute. Hang on.
Okay.
Hey, sorry about that. I apologize.
You are fine. I just created a little paycheck advance system, so they stopped bugging me about it.
Okay.
So
right.
I was messing with that.
Right. So I was still in getting some things. All right. So you're in Kentucky area, you're in a good area. How many cruising trucks are you guys running right now?
Okay. So we own one truck, right? Okay. It's a small truck. All right. We, because we're so young, are having a tremendous issue with, especially with the shortage, getting any sort of financing for trucks. Okay. And we were using Penske before for a lot of stuff, but because of the cost that they are, it just pretty much ate every margin that we could possibly want. And we've been, as much as I don't like it, using U-Haul, even though they don't necessarily have commercial coverage. It's something I'm trying to move away from, but for survival purposes, we need to do it right now.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
That's what I am, a U-Haul dealer, and that's what I was doing. I was just setting a reservation for a U-Haul. U-Haul is actually much better than it used to be, quite honestly. So that's not too bad. And I understand about the margins. When you say it's a small truck, what size? 15-footer, 16-footer, 17-footer?
It's all right. So it's 16-foot. However, it is a lot taller than a normal 16-foot. Like you have your U-Haul 17-foot, 15-foot. You have your Penskes. This one, like, add another foot to the height. It's like a 26,000-pound GDW, but with a 16-foot box.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a pretty
box.
Yeah, very tall box.
Well, probably the equivalent of a 20-foot truck.
Maybe, yeah. We got it for a steal. I mean, it was a really good deal.
Hey, whatever you guys can afford, and whatever you guys can get, so much the better. Yeah. You got to start somewhere. Typically, I would have told you to start with a large truck first and get the largest truck you can afford, but whatever you can get. Yeah.
We have about right now we average around 2 crews a day, not full-time crews. Okay. It's all sparse contractors at this moment because we just grew so fast. Okay. We in peak though, it's like 4. It gets very, and we only figured out the marketing at the end of peak. So most of them, like, we built this thing on Angie's List because Kirk can sell really good.
Good. Well, it sounds like Kirk needs to come off the trucks and just
he's not on the trucks right now. What we're doing now is we had on queue there because there's so many policies and other crap. We had to get the tariff made because it grew so fast that we didn't have any of that. And we're just got it made. We just have to, just takes so much extra administrative time. Right. And then after everything's kind of settled, what we were going to do is we were going to try to phase out on queue a little bit so we could cut the cost of that and just find a good CRM, but that's down the road after all the buttons are nice and tight.
So you guys are getting a lot of stuff from Angie's and like Thumbtacks.
Not anymore. We switched from Angie's to Google because we just found out how terrible they are compared to Google.
and Google is producing good for you then.
It is not as good as I'd like, but it's profitable. Okay. It's just not, when I look at what I'm seeing from people, it's kind of hard to filter what is true versus what is not on YouTube and all of that. But a lot of what I see is you want your marketing budget around 10% of all your revenues. And it's at 20% right now to produce that 42,000 for last year. But 60% of all of our leads are coming from SEO, and we only spend like $2,000 on SEO and the website and all of that. So it's like the rest of, so we're talking like 24,000 of that's coming from the SEO. The rest of that is coming from the Google. So it's like, it's producing, but it's not producing a lot. So I'm concerned about it, but I don't really know what to do about it.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Why did you, if Angie's List or Angie now was producing pretty well for you guys, why did you just,
it wasn't once we got the systems in place to look at the numbers.
I get it, but you guys built your business on it.
Yes.
You guys knew the system.
Yes, we bled a lot of money.
I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
And that's why one reason why I never did Angie's List.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was a proven source of leads and jobs.
Of leads and jobs, yes. So we, when we were looking at it, when we finally got all the numbers in, right, we were pumping like a lot of money into it, and it was producing like 1.5 times the revenue of it. So the cost per lead was really high. And then in combination with using Penske and just labor costs, which we're trying to get under control now, that we're a little bit more established. Oh man, dude, it's a nightmare. It was so hard to find people there for a second. Oh.
It's going to get worse.
So we raised rates a little bit. We're doing about $130 an hour for 2 men. I feel like we kind of need to raise it a little more, because when I was looking at the first profit and loss statement, labor costs are still 50% of all of our revenue, which is
50%?
50%, way too high.
Yeah, you shouldn't be more than 30.
That's what I've been telling Kirk. 25 to 30 is where you want it, because I've been doing a ton of research. I just don't know how to cut that because it's like every one of our competitors is offering like very similar wages. I mean, we're very high for some of our guys, and that's what's doing it. But even after we cut those down to what they're offering, I don't see it because it's at 50% now. I see it going to maybe 35. I don't see it going to 30, unless we up our upsell game or something like that, or make sure we have one of those bus fees.
You say you got Google going now that it's operating, it's squared away.
Yes.
What is your target audience?
So most of our target audience, they're older folk with a little bit more money. That's generally who we get the most. However, I've noticed that a lot of our jobs do come with smaller houses, which is very interesting, I find. So when we did dissect all of our jobs before everything was settled together, it was like 80% of our jobs were small jobs and 20% were larger jobs.
There's your problem. There's this thing called the Pareto Law, right? Says 80% of your production will come from 20% of your customers.
Yes.
So 20% is what's actually produced the most for you.
Yep. Yeah, because those big jobs make good money. Right. Oh man, they make good money.
So what you guys need to do, without killing yourselves, especially not in the wintertime, you want to start catering towards those big jobs.
Okay. How would we target that though?
Oh, well, let's go over a couple things first.
Yeah.
Two, so basically it sounds like you got your Google listings working, and that's awesome. And you should keep that up. But your Google listings and your Angie's listings are targeting the more tire kicker type people. I guarantee it.
Okay.
Here's how you're going to improve. One, you're going to want to start sending out postcards. Postcards will give you you should get a 1 to 2. With my postcards, I got 2 to 3% response rate from my postcards. If I sent out 100 postcards, 1 or 2 people would call me from there. Out of that, I would book probably 1 or 2 of those. And most of those jobs are multiple $1,000 houses. And the reason for that is because I sent them to the homes that are middle class or high middle class or executive homes.
Yep.
Okay. Now there's a couple services that you could use that will do that for you. There's movingleads.com, and then there's usahomelistings.com. And what you need to do, USA Home Listings is a more robust system. And because it's more robust, it's also more expensive. But at this point, they'll do almost everything you need to do that you want the things. They'll send it out, they'll design it, mail it for you, the whole works. And another good thing is that what they'll do is they'll also target what's called under contract homes. which means homes that just went under contract. So you know that those homeowners that are selling, their homes are under contract, they're going to be moving in the next 30 to 60 days, guaranteed. Okay. So if they're not doing it themselves, they're hiring a moving company. So, you know what I mean? So by sending out these postcards to them, one, you could get to them sooner before most of your competitors, right? And two, most of your competitors are not targeting under contract guys, right? Maybe 2 Men in a Truck are, but even them, like even here in the Lansing area, the 2 Men in a Truck people weren't targeting under contract homes.
Yeah.
So thing. So and I've got the national, worldwide, global office right here in this town. You know what I mean? I know Joe. I know Brig. You know, I know Mary Ellen. So even the local franchise here, because it's a franchise now, it's not an actual corporate store. Yeah. The franchise doesn't sell to, doesn't send postcards to under contract homes.
Now, do you think our brand would be a little harsh for some of those? It's strong ass movers, so it's strong awesome.
Ass movers.
A lot of people buy it because of the brand.
But that could be a problem. I doubt it. In today's climate, you know,
probably pretty fine.
Yeah, you're probably, but it might be something you want to keep it in the back burner.
In the back of my head. Okay.
You know, because it might not be something that you know, that more sophisticated executive type homes want to do. But that's where you want to start concentrating on. So you want to increase your, do not lessen what's working. So if Google's working, do not lessen it. You're just going to add to it with this.
Okay.
All right. Now you could send out the postcards yourself. I've got a video on how to find homes on Zillow. You're a realtor or a real estate.
I'm actually not. I'm just an investor. I just understand real estate.
You have access to the MLS.
Yeah, I could get that like that.
Then there you go. So get the MLS listings. You can find out what's gone on send your postcard out to them. Now, when you're going to have to alter your message a little bit to these executive homes, these higher end homes, because they're not going to, you know, most of you doing is saying, hey, we'll do it at $135 an hour or whatever it is, and $10 off here and $20 off that, free boxes. All you're doing is setting yourself up as a commodity, right? You're nothing more than a banana on the shelf at that point, right? If your unique selling proposition is your price point, you're just a commodity, right? You know, when it comes down to it, when somebody's comparing apples to apples, right? They're not going to buy the apple they're not going to buy your apple because you're special. They're going to buy your apple because of its price. It's a commodity, right? What you need to do is you need to turn these executive homes where they're comparing apples to oranges. Does this make sense?
It makes sense, yes.
All right. So they can go, okay, well, this apple is $100, but this orange is $150. But look at the plumpness of this, you know, this orange. Look at the juice, like literally coming out of the rind and blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's, you want to make it so that's comparison to that. So basically, when you do a postcard, you want your postcard to sell the result of the move, right? One of the things that I tried to do was I would not put my name or my logo or my pictures of my guys at all on a postcard, except on the very back to let them know who to contact, kind of thing.
Okay.
Everything else was all about the customer and what they, you know, the result. Basically, I literally had people on a porch swing drinking a beer, watching the sunset, and going, "All move." If your move is a sunset, you know what I mean. Basically, with the depiction of like, you know, I want to elevate their move. Basically, is what I want to do. You could choose your own wording. but I forget the wording now exactly. That's why I'm like stumbling here. It's been several years, but basically, I just had guys on a porch looking at on a mountain porch, drinking coffee or drinking a beer, nice, relaxed. People on a beach, people watching movies and Netflixing and chilling. You know what I mean? That's what I wanted to depict, that relaxation, that stress-freeness. And I would say, and I wouldn't put anything about it on the front cover, nothing about movie other than, this is what your move could be, right? That kind of sentiment.
Okay.
Then they turn around, and again, it's more of the same reinforcement where they turn it over, except for a small part where my business name and a phone number, right? That's where that's all they would see. All that they would not see a long laundry list of everything we provide. Who cares? Yeah. Every moving company provides that.
Yeah,
you're not any different than any other moving company, unless you're doing something different, like you're going to guarantee the move, right? Which would be stupid, but
yeah, that would be.
But now if you're going to give like free packing for their for a full service move, you know what I mean? Great, that would be something that's different that nobody else is doing. Hey, we'll come and pack you for free. Of course, it's going to be added to the price, but they don't know that, right? Or they do know that, but in the back of the head, they're saying free.
Yeah, they're. Yeah.
So you want to do something where it sells the result, right? Forget this idea. Don't sell the sizzle, sell the steak kind of thing. Get rid of stupid cliches. What you want to do is to sell the result, right?
Okay.
You're not trying to sell them that they're going to save money. You're not trying to sell them that they're going to save time. What you're going to do is you're going to say you're going to save hassle and stress and stuff without saying we're going to give you a stress-free move.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No other thing. No other moving companies doing anything remotely like that. Okay. So that you want to augment what you're already doing to that. 2, you can also increase your prices by concentrating on the bigger moves.
Over that 130?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
These guys,
I don't.
Because if you're doing it right, you're not selling price. I mean, what's the difference between a Porsche and a regular Volkswagen car?
Porsche looks nicer.
Nope.
No?
Same company makes the car.
Oh, man. Okay.
The same company. Porsche is owned by Volkswagen. Audi is owned by Volkswagen. What's the difference between those?
Yeah.
It's the name.
Yeah.
It's what Porsche sells. It's the prestige. It's the status. So you get the same car as a Volkswagen Jetta, right? But you're paying twice as much, 3 times as much because it's a Porsche. Does this make sense?
That makes 100% sense.
So what I want you to do, you're still a Volkswagen, but I want you to start promoting yourself as a Porsche.
Okay.
Right? And by doing that, you can increase your prices.
Okay.
Right? Without giving up what's your roots. Because right now, the roots is what's keeping you busy, keeping you.
Yeah. It's keeping us level right now.
Right. So you don't want to forgive that. So so that's your first thing on marketing. Second thing you need to do is increase your Google ads to YouTube videos. So you say your partner is really good at sales.
Yeah,
awesome.
and he's a filmmaker too, so he has all the connections to make a really fucking awesome commercial.
Good. I want you guys to create 3 or 4 different 3-minute or less videos.
Okay.
Right? If you got testimonials, put those testimonials in.
Okay.
Testimonials sell. But you really don't want to go more than 3 minutes.
Okay.
Right? Put them on your YouTube channel. Make them. You can list them or unlist them. I would keep them unlisted. And then I would create ads, right, based on high volume targeted keywords, not what you're doing now with your ads, but towards buyer mentality. let me give you an example. Your keyword, instead of cheap moving company, right? You're going to go to top schools in Erlanger, right? Top 10 schools, best school districts in Kentucky, best school districts in Cincinnati area, right? Things that are most people are looking when they're looking to move. Does this make sense?
That makes a fuck ton of sense. Excuse my language.
No worries. See, what you're going to do is you're going to target these YouTube videos that are making videos regarding like children positive activities in Erlanger or Northern Kentucky or Cincinnati area, children friendly things, walking trails, exercise trails in, right? Because people are going there because they're looking at these type of keywords because they're looking at maybe possibly moving into that area.
Yeah.
So, but you want to target it, those specific areas. So, I don't know the area specifically, but I know a lot of, I've been through Cincinnati and I've been to Cincinnati several times, but I don't know, I'm not that well versed. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm still learning.
Right.
Myself.
So you want to make sure that you're going to the right demographic.
Okay.
Right. So when you're targeting these areas, you want to target real estate agents that are producing videos that allow their video ads to be on their videos.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Target those people. Why? People are going to their videos because they want to see what houses are for sale.
Yeah.
Right. That's,
oh my God, it's a lot. Do you mind sending me the recording of this too, so that I can scan over it later and keep taking notes?
Yeah, I'll do what I can. I got your email. I'll do what I can and see if I can't get that to you. I might have to put it on Google and then send you like the Google.
That's fine.
But yeah, we can definitely do that. Okay. But that's what you want to do. So you want to augment it with the postcards to the higher demographics, right? You don't want to send it to to everybody, right? Postcards. That's just silly, right? Because not that you don't want to stop doing those smaller moves.
Yeah.
You want to concentrate. You want to build that 20% that's giving you the most amount of money. Start want to target them more.
Yeah.
Right. And then the videos, if you do the videos right, we'll start targeting more of the middle class people. The executive homeowners won't necessarily do that, but like I know there's a lot of people that like have horse farms out in that area. Maybe have ranches for sale. Target those type of places that allow your videos. So have 2 or 3 different videos. I'll make them a little different. Target a key focus on anything. Again, making the videos about them and not you. If you're trying to show your trucks and your guys are, doing. Here's a great video concept, right? You have somebody out on a porch drinking a cup of coffee on a crisp winter's day. Snow's falling. They're in the mountains, drinking some hot chocolate or coffee, right? And then as they're looking at the sunset and the kids are frolicking outside, right? You get that video, you're seeing that the camera pulls back and then pans into the house, showing your guys are like killing it with the movie, right? Yeah. Very quick, brief, like it pulls out and then shows them moving. That's a perfect example of what I'm talking. Here are the customers sitting there. They're lit. What the kids are out there. They're relaxed. They're enjoying themselves. They're enjoying the sunset. They're enjoying the sunrise or whatever. And in the background, you guys are moving. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
You see the juxtaposition that I'm putting the guys in?
Oh yeah.
Right. That's the kind of video you want to make, and then you want to target the right keywords on YouTube that people are, what are the top best neighborhoods in Cincinnati? That's the kind of video you want to target, right? And the more views that video has, the better that's the video, because you can actually put your ads on certain videos. You can target certain demographics or certain videos. So you want to get the one that is getting a lot of traction down there, right? Anything that's about Cincinnati or Erling or anything, doesn't even have to be necessarily about moving, but just anything that shows the city itself in positive light, that has that's getting a lot of view. Put your ad on that video.
Okay.
Does this make sense?
That makes a lot of sense, like 100%.
Right. You're gonna see a huge influx from that. Okay.
Okay.
Now, as far as renting the trucks, nothing wrong to rent your trucks. Continue doing that. In the meantime, start putting some money away. Every time that you guys use your truck, take some money as if you rented a truck for that move, and put that money into
a truck fund.
A truck fund.
Okay.
Right? Because right now, with the current system right now, trucks that you could have bought at 10,000 or even 20,000 are now going for 30, 40, 50,000.
Yeah, it's driving us nuts.
That's just the way the economy is until it gets changed or we vote somebody better into the system that'll do a better job. Let's go, Brandon. You know what I mean? I don't know where you sit politically, but you know where I sit.
Yeah, I've been too busy to look at it a lot.
But that's just the way the political climate is right now. Between the mandates and everybody telling us you're going to die if you get COVID, nobody wants to work.
Yeah.
So, not only that, Papa government's giving people money to not work, and, in the fear of going back to work, because heaven forbid you get COVID and, oh my God, you might be sick for a couple of days.
Yeah, pretty much. It's ridiculous.
Whatever. I don't want to get into it, but
yeah.
You can see my facial expressions on it.
Yeah.
But that's just what we're dealing with, and that's just the isness. I'm not. So you're going to have to get through it. Other than that, work on that. 50% for labor costs is huge.
Yeah, so, that's what I said. I was like, it was just nauseatingly big.
Yeah, you got to cut that. You got to cut that. Marketing at 10%. I don't necessarily agree. I think marketing should be a bigger budget.
Okay.
I think you should be spending about 30% on your marketing costs.
Okay, cool. So we have some room to grow then.
Yeah. But it's also, you've targeted now with the Google ads. So now expand upon that, right? And target keywords that actually indicating somebody might be wanting to move.
Okay.
So you're going to have to think about that a little bit, right? Yes, targeting movers and stuff like that, absolutely continue. But now you got to start thinking about the box, like what is the keywords that people are looking for that shows that they possibly might want to move, right? And think about, most of them got kids. 2, I think you guys got to sit down and figure out who your real demographic is. Sounds like you're a good numbers man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You should know about the Pareto effect and what's happened about the 80-20 rule.
Yep, I do. I don't know why I didn't think about it in the way that you explained it, though. That I don't know. I didn't think about it the way you explained it. I know about it, but yeah.
Right. You got to start thinking about without giving up your roots. Right. This is why, insurance companies and other companies like this, they have multiple different media campaigns or commercial campaigns on TV, right? You'll see Geico commercial with that little stupid little gecko, right? Yeah. Then you'll see a completely other gecko commercial without that lizard, right? Being funny and stuff like that. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
Liberty Mutual, you'll see some Liberty Mutual where the kids are in front of the Statue of Liberty, and then you'll see the damn ostrich dude playing the buddy cop thing kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they have multiple campaigns going because they're targeting different aspects of their business, right? So this is what you guys got to do. You got to diversify your marketing campaign. And so one thing is you got to figure out who your demographic truly is and where the most amount of money is coming. You're saying the big moves are the one that's bringing in 20% of the income, 80% of the income.
Yeah.
Then that's what you need to start targeting. You need to start putting more money on that.
Okay.
Right. And then using your numbers skills, figure out where, again, the 80-20 rule, continue with the 80-20 rule, continue. Lastly, what I want to do, this book.
Yeah. I actually saw that the other day. I'm in the middle of The Effective Executive right now. I'm trying to study it. I have this huge list of books. When I was in the Navy, I read a ton of them on Audible and all that, but I'd never really studied them hard. So that's what I've been trying to do. I've been looking at that book for a minute.
This book should be your Bible. Should be your Bible specific.
Yeah.
As the money guy, this is the book that you need to get and read. And it should be so dog-eared and marked up and yellow highlighted.
I'm going to leave right now after this and go to Barnes & Noble and see if they have it. That's how fast I'm going to buy that.
Well, if Barnes & Noble, Amazon does.
Yeah.
I actually have a podcast with the author of this book.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Moving Company Mentors podcast.
Yeah.
You can go and listen to. We spoke for an hour and a half.
Okay.
So you can he was a great guy. He's not a great author. But it's not poorly written either. Right?
Yeah.
But as the money guy, like I said, that should be your Bible. And another book that you should do is called Traction. Right?
I have that one. I have not started it yet.
I got it. Okay.
I don't have it in paperback though. I have an Audible. I've been meaning to get some of these in paperback so I can do both at the same time.
Your partner and you should be knowing that thing so that you guys can make sure that you guys are in alignment with whose duties are whose, right? And it'll help you be able to organize the business for greater efficiency.
Okay.
Right. You've got some, I already know that you've got some inefficiencies in your business, which should be your job, specifically your job, because you're the operations guy, I shouldn't say the operations guy in regards to
I'm the money guy,
the business, but you're the organizational guy.
Yeah.
That should be your job to make sure that the company's organized and is efficient and operating like it should be, right? As far as the labor, well, you already know that that's too much. So you got to figure out how to lessen that. If you start cutting people's pay, that's not going to be a good thing.
Yeah.
So
we've been tiptoeing on that. We don't really want to do it too hard. If we're going to do it, we want to keep it competitive.
Right. So how much are you paying your top guy?
Okay. So how it kind of originally started here, right? Is it was originally just Kirk and Derek, right? And Kirk he explained it to me, in order to kind of get it started and get it really predictable, he paid him a really good hourly rate. So he was there when he needed him at all times. So he pays him $30 an hour. Way too high. A little high, but not that much too high. No,
depends
really?
on what kind of responsibilities he's got.
Okay, he does do our scheduling now, so he's become kind of half of a dispatcher a little bit.
Then 30 is right in alignment with that thing.
Oh, kick butt. Okay, and then how Kirk started it at first was 25 and 20, and that's kind of where he was sitting. And everybody else we're seeing is around 15 to 20. So about a $5 difference.
Right.
So
if I were in business right now in my area,
Yeah.
Which is far less than your area. My area, greater Lansing area, is about 300,000 people. Right? That's like a suburb of Cincinnati.
Yeah.
If I were to pay my guys, my top guy, I would pay him about $25 an hour.
Okay.
Right? And that he would be my driver, and he'd be the one doing the billing and stuff like that, and responsible for it. Right?
Now, with that labor cost, do you count? Because, like I said, I'm pretty new with the business thing. Do you count payroll taxes and payroll stuff when we go W-2 finally for that included in that labor cost, or is that $25 the complete cost of the employee to us? Is that what they're getting?
Yes, 30% should be your goal, and that should include the taxes and everything. Right?
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, that makes everything so clear. Okay, wow.
So my top guy would get paid $25 per hour, right?
Okay.
My other guys would get paid probably because right now they can go to Burger King and get $13 an hour.
Yep, that's what we've been seeing.
So before that, my guys would be getting paid about 15. So my regular labor guys would be about 15 to 20. Okay.
Which is where we were going to adjust it, because
right.
it just makes a lot more sense for.
Right. So you got to figure, if you're going to do an apartment move, an average apartment move is 4 to 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Right. 4 to 6 hours. So let's just say it's 4 hours, right? You got two guys, one's been paid at 25 an hour. The other one's getting paid 20 an hour. That's 45 an hour, right? So that means I got to charge about 130 to 135 an hour to keep my guys around 30%.
Yep.
Right. So that just tells you right there how much you need to be charging per hour.
Okay.
Right. The next thing is how are you charging? Are you charging from the time you get there to the time you're done, or are you charging from port to port, which is from the time you leave your office to the time you get back to your office?
So we notice if we word it like the time starts when the job gets there, that we get more jobs. So what we did is we added a service fee that's equivalent to the hourly rate, and it just matches the truck drive time, so that we are essentially billing from port to port, but it's just worded differently so that it inhibits a different response.
Okay, I get that, and that's okay for the majority of your jobs that you're doing now, because the people with the apartment complexes and stuff, that's okay. But when you start doing the bigger people, that's not going to be okay.
You want to charge port to port? Do we want to keep that service fee, that service truck fee? So get rid of that and just go straight port to port. When the crew gets back, the bill stops.
When you leave your office to the time you get back, period.
Okay.
Right? So it really depends on what demographic you're speaking to.
Interesting. Okay.
Because again, you don't want to turn your business into a commodity when you're dealing with the higher end homes.
Yeah. You
want them to hire you based on the results that they're going to get and how they're going to feel, versus what your moving company is. Does this make sense?
That does. That makes a lot of sense. There's so much clarity that's coming from this. Holy buckets.
When I hire a football coach, I want to hire a football coach that's going to get me wins.
Yeah.
I'm not just hiring a football. I can hire anybody to be a football coach. I can hire Joe Blow off the street that's never coached a day in his life to be a football coach. I could hire Ted Lasko to run a pro soccer league. I don't know if you watch that show. It's a good show. It's fun. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? You could hire any Ted Lasko to be your football coach. But I want a Chris Saban. I want I want a coach that's going to get me, Super Bowl gold.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want a coach that's going to take me to the playoffs, that can build a good team. That's what I want, right? That's my result. I'm not hiring a coach because he's a coach. I'm hiring because of what he can do for me.
Yep. Yeah. That's kind of how because there's a few that I was looking at. And then when I was going through your YouTube, and you were pretty informative with a lot of this stuff. And I was just curious. So I just went on your website and I saw I was there and I was like, oh, done right there.
Right. You hired me because you want me to give you great advice, right? You don't want me to give you something to just blow smoke up your ass going, oh, you're doing a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want some kind of things that you can act on.
Yeah.
With couple of the other guys that do these coaching calls, all they're doing is giving you stuff from their thing to sell you a course.
Yeah, that, or it's stuff you can easily find on Google that's not very specific to individual issues.
Right. So you've got two issues that you guys got that I've come up just on this short little hour that we've been here. One, you got to figure out your numbers better. You got to really get those nailed down and figure out, especially your payroll, right? Yep. Without cutting the cost. Because if you say, all right, we're going to cut your payroll, then they're going to quit. They're just, especially in this climate. But I think $20 to $30 is pretty fair,
reasonable. Depending on the responsibilities and how good they are.
Exactly.
Okay.
It sounds like the guy that worked with your partner knows his shit, and
he's very good. Everybody has their issues, but he's very good.
I would probably make him an operations manager. I'd probably give him a raise and make him an operations manager and make it his job to hire guys and make sure everybody's there. That's
the idea we've been having.
Yeah. So that's what I do. I'd probably even give him like 35 and said, okay, you're the operations manager. We're going to get you $30, but we're also going to add in a bonus system and blah, blah, blah. So that this guy's going to make a little bit more money and make it his problem so that you guys don't have to do that. Right.
Okay.
And also disincentives too. So if there's any kind of damages or anything, he gets dinged a little bit like, hey, you got to get this corrected and it's coming out of your pay.
Yeah.
Well, bonus. You can't really get out of their pay, but their bonus.
Yeah.
Whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But set up income. And then 2, you got to start making some income and attainment goals. Right? 3, figure out your demographics, your real demographics. Where's the most amount of money coming from? Right? And then figure out the marketing to them. Now, you've already figured out your Google marketing. Now you're going to have to do the same. And I told you the 2 things that you need to do to add to your marketing towards that demographic. But you got to come up with the right things to say and the right kind of messaging.
Yep.
Right. But USA Home Listings is a good company to go with. They're a little on the pricey side, but they're well worth it. Moving Leads, if you don't have the budget quite yet for USA Home Listings, then Moving Leads is a good alternative. They don't do under contract listings, sadly. They refuse to do it, actually, which is bad.
Yeah,
it's kind of bad. But they've got a great service, and I've used them for years. Okay. And I know the guy. I've talked to the guy. I've talked to him personally.
Should we use one or the other, or
or
should we use one or the other, or both?
My preference, if I were to do it, my preference would be USA Home Listings. But it really became down to how much money do I have to spend right now to do it. If you can't afford USA Home Listings, then go with Moving Leads until you can.
Okay.
Right? If you can't afford Moving Leads, then do it yourself. Use my video on using Zillow and stuff. That's going to be the worst option, but it can be effective.
Okay.
And then, YouTube videos. Like I said, 3, 4, 5 videos specifically concentrating on the result of the move, geared towards videos that are actually showing people in buyer's intent, in this case, moving intent, then you're going to have greater effect.
Okay.
Right. And and then it's okay to use those, put those videos on, and then you can use those video assets everywhere too. You could put them on TikTok. You could put them on, Instagram, put them on, you know what I mean? Facebook, etc. Right. Totally okay. Right. And you could do videos now that are in this format versus this format.
Yeah, I have a nice phone to do it too, so I could probably do something.
People totally accept this format now. It wasn't that long ago when you had to do them all in horizontal. People, with TikTok and Instagram and, this has become totally acceptable. So you can do good videos on vertical now. So I personally hate TikTok, but it can be effective.
Yeah, I'm not much of a fan of it, but
and then you specifically need to get this book, make it your Bible, and then you and your partner should read Traction, and Traction should be his Bible, right? But you should know about it too, because it sounds like he's the idea man. He's the dreamer, the thinker.
We both are a little bit. We
both can't wear that hat.
No. Yeah, we complement each other well, though. I'm definitely a little bit more of the hold back. Let's make sure everything's structured and sound, and then we'll go, chase it and knock it out of the park. I'm definitely more of that.
Good. You're the implementation guy. He's the dreamer.
Yeah.
And and that book Traction talks about that. You got the guy that's the dreamer, the guy who comes up with the ideas. You're the guy who puts it into works.
Yeah.
Right? And that's a perfect team right there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not all going to be roses and unicorns.
Yeah, it hasn't, but we complement each other rather well.
But that's a good team. You know what I mean? Especially if you guys start thinking alike and you guys know what the other team member is going to be doing and thinking and are able to coordinate thereby and therewith. That is the definition of a good team.
Yeah.
Right. Make that other guy your
awesome.
operations manager. Take that hat off of him. Right. Because your job is to take all the hats off of your partner.
That's kind of what I've been trying to do a little bit, but I'm so new at everything.
And that's fine.
It's
a learning process, but that's your job. Your job is to take the stress off of him so that he can concentrate on the dreams and then create the sales machine that you guys need.
Okay.
Right. And then when you're talking about scaling, the next step in your scaling process is building up your sales machine.
Okay. After we get all of this stuff sorted out.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So coordinate your org board, get your finances right, know your numbers down to the penny, get that done, and then do all that stuff, get your marketing guy, and then your next scaling step will be the sales machine.
Like an in-house sales team type of thing?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I mean, eventually you're going to want to replace OnQ.
Yeah, they're very expensive.
They are, but they're very good.
Yeah, yes, they are. They're very good. We were pretty happy with the results.
I love them. They just showed me their whole new system the other day. I did a call with them, right? And I'll tell you what, I loved it. I love the looks. I love the feel. I love that you don't have to do anything. It's all set up.
Yeah.
It's all set up. There's a couple other good, very robust moving company softwares on the market, but it requires you to set it up.
Yeah.
Right. OnQ, nope. Plug and play. Start, go.
Yeah, that's what I like about it so much. It's so easy to just implement.
There was a couple things I went over with them and said, hey, this is what you need to change. And they're like, oh, that makes sense. And just small little tweaks that if they did it would make it so simple, right? Just make it, boop, 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 goes right in order. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I love the system. One thing that sold me is they have that, they have access to finance.
Yeah. With the, what is it called? Level, I believe, is their finance person.
Yeah, so you can get a business loan.
Yeah, we were approved for a little bit. I just secured us a line of credit for some security purposes, just so it's just a safety thing.
Good. No, that's actually a good thing to do. Just don't use it.
Yeah, no, we're not using it. It's just there just in case, because it just lets me sleep better. Probably lets Kurt sleep better.
That's you're doing your job. That's a smart move.
Yeah,
that's a very smart. But that feature alone sold me on Q.
Yeah, it's really cool because we did go through there and they did approve us for a little bit. We didn't end up taking it. We just wanted to see.
Even if it's $5,000, you know, $5,000, especially for a small moving business, that could get me through my winter.
Yeah.
If I'm in a small town.
Yeah.
Man, that's me surviving for the next year or not.
Yeah. It's really cool.
So that is, to me, that sold me right there. If I were a new moving business, a small new moving business, I'd get OnQ just for that feature alone.
Yeah.
And the fact that you don't have to repay it, that it comes out of your out of the monies,
out of the revenue, it's very seamless.
It's like I don't have to do anything. I don't have to think about it. Sign me up.
Done. Yeah.
You're not checking my credit? Good. Sign me the hell up.
Yeah.
And I just think that feature is great. So that's what I would think. Now, was there anything other on your list that we did not go over that you wanted to talk about? I'm totally willing to give you a little extra time since I took some time away from you here. So.
Oh no, you're fine. Honestly, you gave me so much. At this point, I would like to save any other additional questions because I'm probably going to come back for more sessions. This was super. This is going to impact a lot. And it's definitely, I can already see it's going to be worth it. Is we want to scale eventually to 100 million. That's our goal. I'm already kind of semi-retired and I get bored. So I'm fine with the work it'll take. I'm excited. It's like a game. That's kind of how I feel.
100 million. That's a bold statement. There's not a company in there doing near almost 100 million right now.
Yeah.
Well, I won't say that there isn't. Some of the big multi-level van liners might be doing that.
Yeah.
Global ones, but that's
we wanted to go nationwide.
I'm not saying it's not impossible. That's going to be.
It's hard. It's a big goal. You shoot for the moon, and even if you miss, you land among the stars.
Hey, go for it.
Yeah.
You've got to think, but bring some of your goals down to some actual doable levels, right? For like, what's the next year's goal? Right?
Yeah.
What is the finances that you want to do? Right? Then break it down from there. Okay, good. If we hypothetically, you want to increase it to 100,000 a month, right? Awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
So how many jobs do you guys need to be doing to make $100,000? Right?
Yeah.
Great. Now you know how many jobs you need. So to do the jobs, how many crew you're going to need? How many trucks are you going to need? Great. To get the $100,000 a month, how many big homes how's that going to break down? You know what I mean? How many big homes is that going to be? How many smaller homes? That kind of thing. That will determine how much equipment you need and so on and so forth. Start with some real goals, right?
Okay.
Start with some real goals. You're doing 50,000, on the high end right now. So you could probably, if you continue that thing, next summer, you'll probably be doing 50,000 a month, right? You'll probably average out this year, probably around 30, maybe 40. Give her, between the
between the growth and all of that stuff. Yeah.
So, okay, good. So, maybe the next step is 50 to 60 on average versus 30 to 40.
Okay.
And make
So
a
like
2-year
peak
plan.
maybe 100 and then it drops and it's just the
Yeah.
average. Okay.
Yeah. So, kind of go with that, some real target goals, and then break it down from there. And then that'll tell you, okay, good. You should increase your marketing budget higher, right? Marketing is your blood.
Yeah.
You can't operate a business without cash flow, right? And the only one you're not going to get cash flow if nobody knows who you are or where you're at.
Yep.
So that right there tells you, right? I mean, you just have to do it. All right, my friend. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hey,
absolutely.
Did I give you the service you were expecting?
Yeah. You delivered phenomenally. It was a pleasure.
Well, thank you. Would you recommend me to somebody else?
In a heartbeat. Yeah. There's a lot that I learned from this. Will you be able to send me the video recording?
Yeah, as soon as it gets rendered, probably tomorrow.
Okay.
And then I got to upload it to Google.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll probably, once it gets into Google and does all that, so it's got to render, then I got to send it to Google. Google will take hours to upload, and then I can send you a little link with it.
Okay.
Other than that, I don't know how to send it.
Okay. Yeah, it's probably going to be too big.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, my friend.
Awesome. Okay. I will talk to you again sometime.
All right. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Yeah, you too.